Hi, my name's Mike Gill. I'm a writer. This is my latest book, Human Resource Management Made Easier. This book is directed at the managers of the smaller companies and the smaller charities that don't have access to a human resource professional. This book is a practical guide and it takes the reader through the whole life cycle of employment. It takes you from the beginnings where you're even just thinking about a job, and it helps you decide what that job should look like. It helps you decide what skills are required, what exactly that job is going to be doing once you've employed someone to do it. It helps you think about exactly who you want to do it and what they're going to look like, what skills they're going to bring, what skills you can develop, what attitude they're going to have. Because throughout this book, values is a golden thread that runs all the way through. Those values are reflected in the way that this book is written, and it's for the reader who wants to be an ethical, value-led company. It's for someone that wants to employ the best people to do the best they can do and then improve upon that, because all the time we're in competition with others and we have to continue to do better than we did yesterday, and this book helps you do that. It's written in such a way that it's a combination of knowledge, experience, many years of experience in working in employee relations and human resource management. And it's written in such a way that it combines that knowledge and that experience with activities. So what you get from this is, as you are building things like a job profile, you're actually doing it. You follow the examples, you follow what's written, and you'll be able to produce excellent job profiles. You'll be able to produce the advertisement to get someone to you. You'll be able to attract the best, you'll be able to keep the best. It covers how you can motivate and lead those people in a world of continuous improvement. In short, this helps you to become a very professional company where you will be able to have policies and procedures that you will design, that you'll design to meet your needs, and you'll design those in such a way that your employees will reflect your values. And that can only be a good thing, because what the customer sees when they see a value-led organisation or company, what they see is quality. Decent people doing a great job, low turnover. That kind of low turnover, those happy people that are working for you, that want to work for you, when you are the go-to company to employ them, when you get to that stage, then your customers are going to see that. Your customers are going to be retained just like your employees are going to be retained. New employees are going to be attracted to you, and so are new customers, because they're going to see a company that is value-led, is professional, has good standards, has excellent workforce, and this book will help you achieve all of that. I've been asked occasionally how I got into writing, and essentially I've been doing it for just about all of my adult life. I started more or less in my early 20s when I was a bus driver and a shop steward on Greater Manchester buses. And a friend and I used to write a weekly paper that was directed at union members across the whole of Greater Manchester. It was good fun. I enjoyed doing it. It was hard work, but it was good fun. But I didn't really consider myself a writer whilst I was doing it. I was a bus driver, I was a shop steward, and that's what I was doing. I was just letting people know what was going on and getting it out. Didn't think of myself in any way a writer. I did go on to college when I was 30. I went back into full-time education at 30, and I went to a college called Northern College in Barnsley. It was directed specifically at the mature student who hadn't had that education in the first place. So it was giving us further education that we hadn't really got before. And in the second year, I wrote a dissertation in history, and that was put into the college library and put on the recommended reading list for working class history. I was very proud, but I didn't see myself as a writer. And when I left that and I went into full-time professional work, I wrote bids for TV companies, bidding for franchises, and after that I wrote for many companies, many bids for many companies, but never really considered that I was a writer. I was just doing it for a living and not even thinking, here I am, I'm a writer, I'm a professional writer. But There you go. I never thought I was. And then I decided in later years, something like 6, 7 years ago, that I wanted to do a bit more writing for pleasure. So I started writing short stories, some of them quirky, some of them nonsense, some of them some historical relevance, some of them serious. And I really enjoyed doing it. Only really for family and friends, but I enjoyed doing it, and it built up certain skills, and I did some online courses, and I started to learn a bit more, and then I wrote a novel. Again, not a massive circulation, but it didn't really matter because it was the achievement that counted on that, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it and feeling so satisfied when I'd done it. That was just brilliant for me. So that's how I got into writing. One of the things that a writer should do is make sure that they devote the time to doing the work. Because it is work. It's enjoyable work, it's fulfilling work, but it's work. What I do normally, for most of the stuff that I've written, I've done it whilst I've had a day job. So I've had to segment time. It's difficult. Sometimes when you get home from work, it's been a long day, you want to sit down, have a nice glass of something, watch the telly, listen to some music, whatever you want to do. But you've really got to do some work. You got to keep at it. You've got to really keep at it, even if you're not entirely in the mood to do it. Because once you sit down and once you start writing, even if it's just a few paragraphs, you maintain that discipline of writing. So, what's the most challenging thing about this kind of thing? Well, it's making sure that you keep that discipline. That's a really challenging thing. But the biggest challenge for me is not just to keep the discipline. The biggest challenge for me is to keep the motivation, to keep the self-belief that I can do that. I can write that 100,000 words or that 300 pages or so, that I can do that. And then when I've done it, I sit back and then I can have that nice glass of something and think, that was a job well done. So what I learn about this, what I learn about these things, well, I learned that every time you write something new, every time you write, you're improving upon the way you wrote. You're gathering new skills, you're honing new skills, you're getting better. And then the next thing that I learned is in editing, you can continue to improve what you're doing. So write, but edit and be critical. And when you've been critical and you've lost some of those words that you lovingly placed it in your book, in your manuscript, when you lose some of that, you can improve on what you do. So there are the lessons. And now I'd like to say some words about Yukioto, the publishing company. I have found them to be so supportive in this, so quick in the way that they work, so encouraging, get back to you so quickly, and they're helpful. Any problems that you've got, they're there to advise you. I think that they're brilliant, and I think that I would recommend them to any author, any day. Put your submission in, and they'll help you. Thank you.